Hey everyone, I just wanted to put this video quickly into the beginning of my Master Sword video because it's all about arts and crafts and stuff like that. There are obviously knives and scalpels and blades and spray paints involved with all of this, and I just want to say, be careful with it. If you're a kid, get an adult to do it all for you. You know, all the tracing and stuff, absolutely cool, but when it comes to cutting stuff with very, very sharp scalpels, or using scissors, or using spray paints, which is chemicals, be careful with it, please do. Get an adult to do it for you, get an adult to cut everything, stable surfaces, all of that. Be really careful with it, with scalpels, scissors. Spray paints, do it outside or in a ventilated area. Be safe with it, because I don't want any of you guys to get hurt. It's all awesome fun, and I love making videos like this. I'm going to do another video at some point, like making all the outfit and everything, but get a responsible adult to do stuff for you. Even if you're an adult and you're not 100% confident with doing it, get someone else to do it for you. That's it. That's enough of the boring stuff done. I just wanted to make that. Be safe using all this stuff. Enjoy the video. Okay. Good afternoon, I think. I have absolutely no idea. I am taking a break from the norm this video, and what I shall in fact be doing is telling you a little bit what I've been up to, in particular about the cosplay that I'm doing. It's something I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time, and I finally have the chance to do so, which is pretty cool. So, I am going to go to the London Film and Comic Con, July 12th on the Saturday, and what I shall be going as is Link from the Legend of Zelda series. Not that I needed to tell you that, because you're an informed audience, you know of such things. It's a stupid shadow. That's really bad video making on my part. I just need the light here to make me brighter, because I've stupidly placed myself in the corner where all the shadows are, which is brilliant. So yeah, I'm going to LFCC, London, July 12th, and I'm going as Link. However, it's going to be different. I'm going as my friend described it, a gritty reboot of Link, which I thought was awesome. And basically what that is, I'm gonna have all the stuff and all of that, but I wanted to know what he'd look like, because obviously like older Link is 18, I think, and I thought that's not old enough. Like, I want to see what Link would look like in this fantasy, in universe of mine, if the battle that he was going on to save Hyrule was a lot longer and was just a lot more, I say serious, but I think the Zelda games are very serious, but if it was a lot more just bloody and gritty. So if Christopher Nolan did Zelda, I think I will be talking like that. But anyway, basically what I wanted to do was tell you about obviously the main thing that's associated with Link. In my opinion, obviously you can talk about the ocarina and all of that, but to me it's the Master Sword. And being a first-time cosplayer, like some stuff I am going to buy / have bought. I'll upload more videos as I go along, but I wanted to make the Master Sword because it's just so iconic, and I wanted to give it a go. So what I'm going to do is show you what I've done so far. I'm going to credit who's influenced me in terms of making this stuff. I'll put it in the comment section below. I'll put the links to this guy. I can't remember his name right now, but he influenced me in how to make these swords. Basically, this guy makes swords out of pretty much just paper, and that's it. And they are exquisite works of art. They really are. Difference between him and I: first off, he's incredibly talented. I'm not. Secondly, the man has the patience of a brick. He
just keeps going and going and going, and will just make this beautiful stuff. I don't have any patience. I want stuff yesterday, faster, more. So what he does is, he layers and layers and layers paper, and I found a way to make like the core of this sword without making it. It took me the best part of a few hours to get the main shape of it. First off, this guy's got schematics. Basically, he did all the grunt work, as he puts it, and it's incredible. On the YouTube video that he's done. So he's done all of the blueprints for it, the width of the hilt, the handle, the even like the size of the point at the end. I think he missed out how long the blade is. I think basically that's left up to you. I've made a few modifications to what he's done, not to make it better, but just for my needs and what I could be asked to do. So I'm just gonna show you what I did. I mean, first off, I think it's good to have a good starting point in terms of what the Master Sword looks like, and really the best place that I've found it is that, which if you don't own, sort your lives out. Really, the Hyrule Historia, which is a beautiful book, so thick. And it's actually got a picture on the end there. However, I did find a page which I've had my finger in for ever, and it really hurts. It gives you a good idea of what the Master Sword should look like. There you go. I'll put it even in the middle there. Look. So when you can notice the fact that the blade gets thicker. I'm going to put that down now. But yeah, do get that. It's just the most beautiful book. It explains the timelines of all the games as well. It's magnificent, and I'm going to put that somewhere. It's been like just sat for so long. I read it to death, and it's been sat for so long that I literally had to go and blow dust off it. It was like finding a tome in a crypt. It was incredible. It was like playing Skyrim. I'm going to put that down on here. Now, what this guy does, and I assume what a lot of people have done after him, is he just layers and layers paper. He like builds a core, blah blah blah, puts paper on it. And I thought, how can I cut corners? I'm all about cutting corners to get sort of to the same result. So what I did was I found really useful some material. I was thinking back to the days of when I did design technology at school. About 12 years ago. And foam board is what I found, is this material I had in my head. And this is it. This is the stuff, obviously with bits cut out. A little sneak peek of what I've done. And yeah, I mean, hang on, I'll show you a smaller piece of it, which I tried to cut using to make a large ruler, because I didn't have a large ruler, but it didn't work very well. So yeah, right, this is foam board, and as you can probably see, it's kind of a little bit reflective there, but it has got foam. In fact, I'll show you that side. It's got foam in the middle here, but plastic on the outside. So, and as you can, when you can see the length of this here, is it's quite long, but it doesn't really bend that well because of weight to it. So it's actually quite a sturdy thing. Apart from that bit, but that's just something that I broke. It's very easy to snap like that. But that being said, you're not going to be doing that. So for a core, it's really, really good. I got, I think, the 5mm there. So just my hand to scale. That's at the edge. Very small fingers I have. I don't know why. So a 5mm thick big sheet cost me about £10. So I cut the shape of this sword out using these schematics that this guy very kindly made and put up for free. I think it's in a You need to download it through Dropbox. Like I say, I don't think he tells you exactly how to do like sword length. I think that's kind of left up to you. However, I was very lucky. Basically, this piece here, I forget the size of it, but that, I used the length of that for my sword. So what I did was I had it actually up on the screen and I traced it. Just with a bit of blank paper, and then turned it over, and then obviously scribbled over it as you used to do in school to just get the basic shape on there and make sure all the angles are right. I used protractors, rulers, all of that. So I just traced it straight onto the foam board, or as you lovely Americans call it, I think it's gator board. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to lift my weight off here because I have been gluing just before I made this video, and it looks like I need to do it again using my very handy weight there. And I cut the shape out rather than doing it in sections and sticking it together and strengthening it, because there is a point you do strengthen it. You don't just leave it as it is and then paint it. You have to strengthen it, because although you might be able to get away with it, when you're travelling around on the tube to London, I think one hit it would break in half. So you have to strengthen it. However, I shall stand back and show you what I have done, and I hope you kids like it. There it is. That is my Master Sword. And I'll show you that for length. And I think that turned out quite well. It's straight, everything is straight here. It even is very straight there. Not really bended at all. I need to put one more lollipop stick on it. So basically, that's the sword there. I'll cut it out of one sheet, and it's a good light core material to make a weapon out of, I think. And as long as you layer up, because I mean you can cut out loads and loads of sections of the same shape and just glue them together, and you can have it as thick as you want, provided you've obviously got enough foam board. So this is me sword. So what you can see here is, here on the hilt, I believe it's called, I'll get that straight. Yeah, it's all out of one piece. But what I've done is I just traced around these bits again, and you can see there, I've just glued them on, just give it a bit of thickness. I might even have to do that again. I know it's messy, but I'm fairly certain you can either sand or just use a scalpel to chop away at the edges there. But yeah, so I'm thinking of that. I'm going to make a few videos to show you the progress of this thing, because I think it's a really good material to use, and it does save a lot of time. I think you can probably get to this stage if you've got nothing else better to do with your day. Probably about a day, maybe two. So yeah, you can see there, it's just one sheet. And then what I did is just bought a shed load of lollipop sticks, and you can see the way, in fact, if I do it there, it's even better. I've got 3 layers, which sounded like a bit much, but then when you hold it back here, it's kind of not when you do that. Bearing in mind that this is meant to be a fantasy sword, I think you can afford to have it quite thick in the blade. I'm not going to have it overly thick, so it's like there, because I think that would be quite silly. I'm going to put, I think your best bet is to try and find the tongue depressor, like lollipop sticks that are used in dentists, which I think they've gotten rid of now, I was told, because it's not as hygienic as plastic, like disposable plastic. I'm not entirely sure. But you can do this, and what I'm going to do is I've put my 3 layers there. There's going to be four layers of lollipop sticks on either side, and all I will do is just put the one now, because I've got 2 abreast. I'm just going to put 1 going all the way down. I've started there, and I'll go all the way down, and on the tip of this sword you can see I have made it so it goes 3, 2, 1, because I want the support there, but I don't want it too thick at the point. So that's nearly finished, actually. That snap, it's sticking up. That's a pain. However, that's not too important because, as I say, one more strip of lollipop sticks going down there. So that's as far as I've got. I just wanted to show you how easy it is. I just sort of judged how long I wanted the blade, and also just for my own personal thing, I made the handle a little bit bigger, so it's double-handed. So if I want to pose in any photos, rather than standing like that, I could probably go, which would be badass. I've just noticed I look like General Zod from Superman, the original Superman with Terence Stamp as Zod. Incredibly British Zod. So that's all I've done for now. My next step is to do the last single layer, so it goes across these to strengthen it so these don't split apart like that, which it shouldn't anyway. I've used a lot of glue. I'm going to just glue the sides to strengthen it, just the sides of the lollipop sticks going down there. And the next step, and it's something I completely forgot, I should know as a fantasy fan of weapons and that kind of thing, as I got to that bit, and you hold it and go, that's quite heavy, actually. Well, it's not heavy. So much going on. But when you hold it like that, it's sort of, oh, that's, obviously you've got loads of weight on this end. Well, that's all that bloody bit's for, isn't it? It's to counterweight it, the pommel. And I thought, I don't know necessarily how to add weight to that side. I could buy some weights, I could use particular materials or what have you. I mean, this is going to be a lot more three-dimensional. When you look at the sword head on, there'll be some more bits that will come out and give it a lot more shape. But I thought the best way to do that, because when you sort of think about it, you go, oh, it's a waste of money. But you go, well, no more than a waste of money than actually buying something that's more expensive than what I'm about to do. 2 penny pieces. Or the equivalent coin size of your native country. Super glue. There. And what I'll do is I'll glue 3 on each side, so 6 in total, and then feel it, and just get a feel for how... It doesn't need to be properly weighted. It's not like a throwing knife. I'm not actually going to go into battle and beat the crap out of people with this thing. It's just that when I hold it, it just feels good, because I'll be walking around going... But yeah, I mean, you can get an idea. I am 6'1", and it comes up to there on me, which I think is a good size. I think you sort of want it just above half your height, or maybe a bit bigger, because at the end of the day, you go into a Comic-Con. If this was realistic, I think it would be a lot shorter. The blade would be thinner. But you know, fantasy weapons aren't meant to be practical. I think this is a lot more practical than most fantasy weapons out there. I mean, look at the Cloudbuster sword from Final Fantasy VII. If you wanted to build that, this material would be amazing. I think you'd need a lot of lollipop sticks. Mayhaps. But yeah, foam board, that's the one. Any local art supplier will have this. That sheet was pretty expensive. I mean, it's that tall, so it's half my height by about half as much thick, and I think it's about give or take £10. Once you've got that, you only need that much to make your sword. Plus change, plus some offcuts. So I'm very proud with that. I'm going to continue to film my progress. I'm going to stick more on, and the next step, once I've put the coins on it to give it the weight, I'm going to do the blade. Now what I'm going to do with the blade is actually use card. I'm just going to lay it over the top of the matchsticks because it'll give it its shape. I'm not going to properly press and stick it down. I'll pull the card say tight, so as tight as it'll go without folding it, and just glue it to the edge and the top, so it naturally, so on the top there, and it just naturally just comes down to either side to give it like a natural curved shape. And I'm going to use card, not paper, because I think if I was dicking about with PVA glue and paper, it won't be a strong enough material. Somebody mentioned papier-mâché, but I think that'll be too heavy and it'll be too wet and things will get soggy. And so that's what I'm going to do. This is a quick, really awkwardly done video of how I'm doing this. But yeah, give it a go. Get some foam board and just cut out a shape. Support it with some lolly sticks all the way across so it doesn't bend. As you can see, I've got 3 layers there. It's going to be 4 on either side. If you can get hold of the thicker lollipop sticks, give it a try. But anyway, that's that. I'm going to carry on. I might even make another video later if you kids are extremely lucky. So we'll see what happens. And also, I look forward to seeing you all at LFCC, London and Film Comic Con, 11th to 13th, I think, of July. Peace out, you crazy kids.